All right, we are back with another video reaction, and I think we have your two favorite contestants. We've got Queen Kelly and Maurice. I'm gonna do my best just to sit back and let them shine on this video because they know what they're talking about here. And we are gonna watch a video that we've never seen before, and we're gonna give you our actual reaction. We're gonna tell you the good, we're gonna tell you the bad, and like you always do, you will tell us the good and the bad in the comments. So let's see what we got here.
I'm Deputy Lewon with Larimer County Sheriff's Office. Reason why I'm stopping you is your registration's expired.
Registration? It's my girlfriend's car, actually.
Okay.
I was just actually helping her move.
Gotcha. Do you have your license?
I don't. I just literally got everything like clumped up here. So, sorry, everything's just mumble jumble, you know?
Okay. You don't have your wallet or?
I actually do not. And then I got the little kitten in here too.
Can you take the keys out of the ignition for me? I appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, out of the ignition?
What's your girlfriend's name?
Victoria Dominguez.
What's your last name?
Jones.
Jones?
Yeah.
What's your first name?
Jacob.
Date of birth?
November 30th, 94.
Where are you heading to?
I was literally getting ready to turn back around because I forgot, you know, a bag and stuff like that.
Where
so
are you heading now?
I was heading to Loveland.
You're heading to Loveland?
Yeah, but I figured it'd be quicker to turn around like right here and then like go back to grab the bag that I missed.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Do you know which way you're going?
Yeah, I'm going north south. So like this way I'm going actually north, but I need to go back to the hotel, you know, to go to Loveland, which is off 34, which is south.
So why'd you go north?
Because I was going to turn around, like I just said, to get the bag. You know what I mean? That was like for the abrupt turn to the right.
What bag?
He said he just helped. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He said he just helped his girlfriend move.
My job is to check for safe and sober drivers. Are you a safe and sober driver?
I am safe and sober. I actually do not drink.
How much marijuana have you smoked?
I don't smoke marijuana.
Any illicit drugs?
No illicit drugs.
Okay. Stay in the car. I'll be right back with you, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so I think it's a good place to pause because we kind of saw the officer's assessment. He asked him some questions at the end about, you know, DUI, right? That led. What do you think? What's your assessment there? We had to make the same assessment that the officer does. Like, what's going on here?
I mean, thus far, I'm not seeing any indicia of impairment. His eyes look fine to me. His speech doesn't seem slurred. I thought at first it was a little weird that he was saying like everything's like messed up and mumbo jumbo, but he just moved. He's in his girlfriend's car. He's getting pulled over.
Yep. Your
You
thoughts?
guys are going to think I'm completely out in left field with this, okay?
Yeah.
Something about this whole scenario, the traffic stop, the interaction is raising some hairs on the back of my neck. I'm anticipating that when the officer returns back to the car, there's going to be something that happens.
There you go. There's
So you're the
another
partner
option.
now? Okay. So let's see now.
He's putting his gloves on.
Uh-huh.
You gotta roll down the window for me?
Yeah, sorry, it's just a cat.
It's February.
Texas.
Can you step out for me?
Hey.
Oh, it's in Texas?
Oh, he said Loveland, right?
I'm gonna pat you down just to make sure you don't have any weapons on you, okay? You can relax. Go ahead and put that stuff on the so, did you give me the right name?
Yeah,
What's your name?
Jacob Todd Jones.
Okay. Why don't you give me the right name?
It is the right
No,
name.
it's not.
Yes, it is.
Brent, I know. So, right now you're under arrest.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Stop! You're gonna get tased! Stop!
Damn, that kid took off quick.
Didn't it seem like they were on a highway?
Mm-hmm. Like either an exit ramp or an entrance ramp.
No.
No.
Oh, God.
Wrong place to deploy a taser. Oh, my God. Whoa.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Okay.
I'm glad that is blurred out.
Isn't his body like still in the middle of the road?
Yeah, it's definitely down.
Jeez. I was gonna say,
He should be on his radio, right?
he's cuffing him. He's dead, dude. He just checked his pulse. You cuff him before you try to resuscitate him? Oh my god.
Yeah, they need to hurry up and like get EMS,
Yeah,
helicopter,
I
everything.
mean,
Yeah,
Okay,
like
good.
you're
They
on
got-
your radio.
All right, so EMTs are there now.
Okay.
Well, something
Did you-
happened, that's for sure. I mean, because the whole screen was basically blurred out. I want to make sure, like, what I think happened is the same thing that you think happened. It goes, like, from an off-ramp or on-ramp and then into the actual highway.
It was like a
appears.
divided highway, like the middle was like
Yeah.
a field.
Yep, kid jumps over the
Guardrail.
Yeah, guardrail there. Cop deploys the taser, but
Yeah.
but there's like I saw headlights. Like there's an oncoming car.
100%. This is like a highway. This isn't like
Yes.
Main Street in a small town. This is like a legit
Yep.
highway.
Definitely impact and and then the cop cuffs him, begins trying to resuscitate him, and now EMS is here. That's what I gathered.
What about too him like dragging him away? He's like
you gotta
messing
get
with.
him out of the street.
Yeah. You can't be gentle with it, obviously. I know, like, you got hit by a car, I'm assuming, or like,
Yes.
yeah.
He's like f***ing up the crime scene by doing that.
No,
He has
no, you gotta
nothing of
move
crime
out of
scene.
the
At
street.
that point, like, as far as preservation of crime scene, that's out the window. You got to think about life-saving measures. So all that crime scene preservation is out the window when it comes to life-saving measures.
Could be another car right behind it.
Yeah. So, like, forget that. But, yeah, something went wrong. Obviously, those situations, it can go either way, like the citizen or the cop. But, yeah.
Let the guy go. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, you gotta. So what do you mean?
Yeah.
Let's break that down. What do you mean
Okay.
let the guy go?
like, I understand he ran away. You're gonna chase him, but to tase him in the middle of a highway with oncoming traffic, like,
Bad decision because we see the result, but in the moment, kind of a split-second decision. He's got the taser. They're running through the field, right? Nothing wrong there, in my opinion. He's got his taser out.
yeah, if he was gonna tase him in the field, would have been the place to do it. He said, "Stop running, or I'm gonna tase you."
Maybe
But
didn't
like to do it in the middle of the highway with oncoming traffic.
Well, yes, I agree with that because yes,
At that point, just like let him go.
yes,
right?
Yes.
It's not worth his life.
Well, the result
Yeah.
would have been different.
I'm siding with the queen on this.
Yeah, no, 100%. No, I'm not disagreeing either.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just kind of breaking it down into
Yeah.
like step by step. The kid runs, officer runs. I see no
Absolutely.
problem there. Hey, stop! Are you gonna get tased? No problem there. You pull out your taser while running. I see no problem there. Of course, if he could have deployed it in the grass, he should have, right? It seemed like he had to close that distance, and then he closed that distance only once the kid had to hop over the guardrail, right? I don't know if the officer made it over the guardrail either. I'd have to go back and look, but that's when it got deployed. Yeah, when the kid steps into oncoming traffic. We've talked in past videos that thing hits and
Yeah, you're
you are incapacitated.
correct. That's the whole thing. Like
Yes.
his entire body, then he has no control over his movement. So if he saw a car coming, he couldn't even stop himself.
Yes, absolutely. Terrible decision to deploy the taser
Can
at
we
that
just
moment.
pause for 1 second?
Yes.
Remember, like, what did the cop have at the time? He gave me a wrong name.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you chasing him?
Oh, you don't even think you should chase him, huh?
Why? He gave me a wrong name, right? That's all I know at this point.
Also, if that is his girlfriend's car, which you think he would have ran, then you would think to yourself, like, I can find this kid again.
Yeah, I
Right?
mean, well,
Of course. Like, he gave me a wrong name. Okay, great.
That's a class A
You run off.
obstruction.
I'm going to stay in this car and I'm going to search it and find your ID, find something. Like, you may have a body in the back.
Sure.
But I don't know that at this point because I'm too busy. Like, you're not going to beat me. You run away, I'm going to catch you. And
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I'm not a police officer. I think I would have chased him, but when he started to run into oncoming traffic,
That's
I
when
would
you-
have
yes.
seized the
Yeah.
chase at that point.
Of course.
Right,
Yes,
exactly.
no disagreement from anybody there.
Yeah.
That, as soon as there's a car going 80 miles an hour
Yeah.
at you guys, you got to stop.
I knew something was wrong when he pulled him out of the car and was like, "Why'd you give me a fake name?" He's like, "I didn't." He's like, "What's your name?" He was like, Jacob Jones."
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
no.
The moment he said you're under arrest, the guy took off. So
All right. So we are all in agreement. I cannot imagine how there is any other way to view this, that obviously the taser should not have been deployed
The only other
at that moment.
Yeah. The only other view is I think what you said. This is obviously like a very high stressful situation. Your adrenaline's running. It's always easy for us to look at these videos and be like, he should have done X, Y, and Z differently when you're not in the moment. And I'm sure this officer wishes he would have done something differently, you know?
Cuffing him afterwards is
That
very
was
strange.
very weird. Right before they put that message on that he cuffed him, we saw that he picked up his arm and his arm fell right back down to
really?
the ground.
Yeah.
And then he cuffs him. Like, and we're talking about life-saving measures being your first order of business. It didn't seem like it was for him. Why cuff him? You would resuscitate him first.
Is there anything nefarious? I'm just thinking through this. Is there anything sort of nefarious there? The officer's trying to sort of, I mean, he's got a body on camera. He should know that. But is he trying to like kind of recreate the scene there?
honestly,
I don't think so.
It defies like common logic, but that's training. Like even seen in like police shooting cases where they shot an individual, they're clearly like not moving. They still handcuff them until EMS comes on scene, take the cuffs off. Like for whatever reason, I personally have like now no uniform, wearing a suit, whatever. I don't think it's necessary. But, why they continue to do that, why they continue to train that way, that's something that has to be explored further.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I mean, from what I can tell, I don't see anything that's like this cop's like a bad apple. And
No, not at all.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a training thing because, again, it all relates because there was a situation probably in the past, law enforcement-wide that necessitated that. They have talked about sometimes in training scenarios where, you shoot an individual, okay, there's something called a dead man 6 seconds, lack of a better term, where, the body's still conscious. You seen somebody get shot, okay, you think they're dead, then as the cop is rolling up on them, the guy comes up and shoots him. So I think it's for that purpose. But again, like that may be an outdated concept that law enforcement needs to revisit, especially in scenarios like this.
I mean, bad choice to run, but man, nobody's expecting that to happen.
No, not at all.
Terrible.
You all right, man?
He's definitely regretting doing that now.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely.
There's taser wires somewhere over here.
Taser wires, I see them.
I think they broke off. Still have good probes in him in his back. You guys need mine? My Bodycam.
Yeah, they'll probably work.
Did the car stop?
You can plug his name. When we confirmed to him about his real name, he took off running.
All right, so foot pursuit. Interstate was clear. You tased him when he went down.
All right, we'll go ahead and get started. This is the first town hall that we are doing on a certain investigation.
This is a first for the Larimer County District Attorney.
We think that you all, the community, has the right to be informed.
His first explanation, a virtual one, after someone died following an encounter with an officer in his district.
Why don't you give me the right name?
It is the right name.
In this case, along I-25 in February, when a deputy pulled over Brent Thompson, who then gave a fake name. The deputy ran after him onto the interstate.
The officer did make it over the
path.
Yeah, that's how I remembered it.
Though our conclusion was that legally, though tragically Mr. Thompson died in this case, it was not a deadly physical force case as Colorado law defines it.
DA Gordon McLaughlin decided not to charge the deputy. He says what happened at this exit should not have, even if the deputy claims he was trying to protect Thompson and other drivers.
Also, the investigation showed that judgment was wrong. It was incorrect. He obviously did not end up protecting Mr. Thompson.
Okay, let's see. We asked several questions, including why, if the deputy made such a wrong call, he wasn't being punished.
My decision is not whether something was right or wrong in our normal parlance. My decision can only be legally whether I can charge that crime and prove that crime beyond a reasonable doubt.
He says there's no training on whether to deploy tasers on highways, and using a taser against a running suspect is normally okay. He says the deputy did not intend for Thompson to die, and he doesn't think he could prove the deputy criminally responsible for Thompson's death.
But not every tragedy is appropriate for criminal charges. And that's the situation here as far as our scope of authority at the district attorney's office.
The DA says the sheriff's office could take internal action to discipline the deputy, but has already said the deputy did not violate its own policy. He says the only other option in this case is a lawsuit, and Thompson's family plans to file one. Otherwise, the DA hopes law enforcement starts training differently so something like this doesn't happen again.
Yeah, like ever since like COVID and the Black Lives Matter movement and stuff like that, so many police departments are looking at like their training policies and how it could improve. Denver is one of them. My best friend works for the Denver State Police as an attorney, and she's on the task force that's like reviewing their policies and trying to make things better and trying to make sure that like lives like this, you know, don't get lost.
Right.
I will say that what the state's attorney said to me does make sense. I think we've talked about it before. Every crime has a mental element and a physical like act to it. We just saw the act and then immediately afterwards said that we didn't think that, you know, the mens rea was there, that he didn't intentionally kill this person.
It also matters what the statute is, right?
Sure. What the elements are,
what the elements are
charges.
that could be charged with. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious if they have like some type of negligence
Right.
statute,
Yeah,
like criminal
homicide,
negligence.
yeah.
Yeah, again, like common sense. Deploying a taser on a running subject on a highway.
Right.
Come on.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it. The negligent is the absolute sort of best interpretation of
Right.
it, right? Like,
And
I don't believe, of course, I don't think he was trying to do what happened. You
Yeah.
know, there's no reason to think that. It's a bad decision
Yeah.
that was foreseeable.
And hopefully the family gets some money out of a civil lawsuit, like add the police department there, the fact that they
Yeah.
are saying that it's, as long as they're running on foot, you can tase them. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Maybe that's a good way to sort of analyze all this, especially for a viewer, is to take the different sections of this, which are a civil lawsuit, criminal charges, and then just sort of changes, policy changes, training changes that can come of it. I think those are three separate categories that all have three separate analysis.
Yeah, definitely.
And with the third too, they were talking about like interdiscipline of the
Yes.
officer.
So let's knock one of them out of the way. Do you think that the family of this victim has a lawsuit?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Right. I mean,
Yeah, it's going to
'cause-
be, talking about negligence and contributory negligence, you know, whether he contributed at all.
Yeah.
And then they basically decide what the amount is based on what they decide the contribution to negligence is.
Yes, if that's how the state handles it, if that's how they do it in
Yeah.
what did you say? Texas.
Colorado.
Colorado, yeah.
Yes, Colorado. There we go. Yes, he has a lawsuit for sure. But the outcome is of that lawsuit, I don't know. But there's already one filed, I am sure. This looks like this happened in February.
Yeah,
so,
this year.
Yes. And given that it appears, I mean, it's high profile enough to be on the news, we're talking about it here, there will be a monetary settlement, and that it would be my guess. All right. But that's all civil in nature and should not be confused at all with criminal charges. And that's district attorney, the prosecutor's job of choosing whether or not this individual law enforcement officer should be charged with a criminal act, committing a criminal act. And our interpretation there is probably not, maybe not. We kind of agree with him. What do we think?
I'm thinking it depends on whatever laws they have on the books. As far as, you know,
Right.
like intentional homicide, no, but manslaughter, if there's a negligent homicide, it can definitely be explored.
Yes.
So,
What about the police officer's immunity with negligent homicide? Like if you don't intentionally do something, does the immunity help him there at all?
I thought the qualified immunity is only relating towards him being liable monetarily.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Him being, yes, on the civil side, right?
Okay.
But he can still be charged with, if he
Sure.
commits a criminal act, he can be charged
Yeah.
with a criminal act, right? Now, it should be no surprise that I'm sure a prosecuting agency is going to think long and hard before they charge one of their own police officers, right? But given that this was in the news, that he held a sort of town hall on this, I'm sure they explored that a number of different ways.
Right. And I'm sure it was more than just the state's attorney working on it. I mean, like here in Illinois, we have first degree murder. You need to like intentionally commit the murder.
Right.
But then we have lesser, second degree, like you're saying, like a reckless homicide, a negligent homicide. And then there, the mens rea could be like you either knew that what you were doing was going to cause this or you should have known. So, I mean, here in Illinois, we definitely have a crime that he probably could have been charged with, but there's also politics involved.
Yep.
I mean, there's no question it's a tragedy, right? And so there's a lawsuit. I could guess on the way that's going to go. I bet there will be a settlement on that. They chose not to bring criminal charges. I'm not necessarily in the position to say that they should have. Again, that's a tough call.
Especially when it's not in this state, so we don't know for sure like what their statutes and elements are.
But that's going to be second guessed for sure, right?
By the public, absolutely.
Yeah, by everyone, and you should second guess it. Like you should hold the law enforcement accountable. You should hold the district attorney accountable to prosecute, crimes to make sure this. There's not bad police officers and it doesn't happen again. It's just not clear to me as we sit here and watch an 8-minute video that they made the wrong decision on that. One thing that is very clear is that this is a tragedy and there can absolutely be policy and training improvements that come from this.
On the district attorney side and on the sheriff's department side, yes. Honestly, like you said, a good point where you have these prosecuting agencies, they are sometimes reluctant to charge their own officers, right? Bring in the next higher prosecuting authority, bring in the state attorney general's office. That way you have a buffer between, this incident and somebody that can hopefully come in with a clear, unbiased approach to actually investigating this to see if somebody should be charged criminally or not. On the sheriff's department side, how did you not train your officers on when and where to deploy their taser?
Yeah, just because the person's running doesn't mean it's okay. Just because you're on foot. I think it's really important, too, to have attorneys come in and train the police, whether it's like private criminal defense like us come in and do trainings regularly or have attorneys that are of counsel, because I think we are trained to think about every worst case scenario. Like whether we're reviewing a contract or whatever the case may be, you're like, well, what if this happened? What if that happened? We're always thinking about ways that your client, in this case, the police department, could be liable, and I think that if we heard, oh yeah, as long as they're on foot, it's totally fine to deploy the taser, we'd be like, whoa, what about this scenario? What about that scenario?
Exactly.
Do you guys think he should have been disciplined by like his employer?
Definitely with regard to the taser stuff. Like that was just...
It calls to mind, too, that's like if you don't have the ability to make good decisions, even though it is split second, and we as humans can probably relate to that, is his job, is you being a police officer like the right job for you, whether you had the intention to hurt this person or not.
Yeah, if nothing, I mean, it's a mistake where someone lost their life.
Yeah.
Right? So does he deserve some time off, some retraining, some desk job,
therapy?
Therapy. I mean, no doubt, tragic for him as well. Again, I don't think he was intending to do that. It was a terrible decision and it happened 3, 4, 5, 8 feet in front of him, right?
Yeah. And in a matter of seconds, like it all goes by so fast.
Oh, yes. But yes, should there be discipline when you make a error to the point where someone loses their life? Yes. As we talk about these sort of 3 buckets, a civil lawsuit, criminal charges against the officer, and then any sort of retraining or policy changes. I think they are sort of 3 distinct topics of conversation. However, one of the remedies in a civil lawsuit can be retraining, can be, talk to me about that.
The injunctive relief aspect of it. So, in a civil lawsuit, there's something that you're seeking with regard to, what's the result going to be of this lawsuit? We talked about the monetary damages. Everybody is aware and hip to the monetary damages of a civil lawsuit. But that injunctive relief aspect, saying that there's a deficiency within this law enforcement organization and we want change, whether it be policy changes, retraining, fire this officer, have better, screening processes when you are thinking about hiring a potential police applicant. A part of your resolution in this case could be, okay, this is what the department is going to do as this case is, resolved. Like they will retrain their officers. You want to make sure that it's tailored toward the conduct that led to the reason of the lawsuit. So they are well within their right to seek injunctive relief about okay, what's your policy on deploying tasers? What's your policy on chasing on foot? And what's your policy on giving life-saving measures, i.e. not putting handcuffs on an unresponsive subject?
Yep, I just think it's a worthy point there that not every lawsuit is strictly seeking money.
Right.
That a lot of people can use a lawsuit as a tool to enact change, whether it's in law enforcement or something else.
In the same suit, though, like in the
Yep.
same complaint, you'd ask the judge for this relief and then also the monetary damage against the police department. Just seems like the judge doesn't have like jurisdiction over both.
They do, because that's a part of the complaint, that this incident, it was a result of a policy they had or a policy they should have had. So it's definitely the judge as well within, their power with the court, because you're defending in a lawsuit, you're a police officer, you're a police agency. You give the court jurisdiction over you by, not being dismissed from that suit or showing that there is no reason why the judge has jurisdiction. So
in the complaint, you're seeing like the tort say like wrongful death and like it meant the elements because of this, but the cause of like the outcome was because of a bad policy change and therefore.
Yep, and they
you're
will
asking
lay
for
that out
injunctive relief.
via their complaint.
Interesting.
All right, if you've seen any of our videos in the past, at the end we'll give a grade to all the parties involved. That just doesn't feel appropriate here. I mean, someone lost their life. Even the officer, who we acknowledge made a terrible decision. I don't think he was intending to do that. It just doesn't feel appropriate to give grades here.
Now, definitely a good choice. Like, this is just a complete tragedy. We always want this to be entertaining, but we also want to respect the severity of this incident. So I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I think we feel for the suspect and his family as well as the police officer. It was a horrible day for everyone involved.
Yeah, not good. All right, guys, there you have it. Obviously a terrible video to watch here. I think it's sort of some of the takeaways, obviously, besides, this being tragic, is that there are some things that can come out of it. We talked a little bit about the lawsuit. We certainly talked about criminal charges that could come out of a situation like this. And then the long-term changes to policy, changes to training, so that a tragedy like this is not for nothing, that hopefully something good can come out of a terrible situation. So thanks for watching with us, and I hope you will tune in to the next video.